Hey everybody, Brian over at Strong Tower Training again, and we're on week 7 of our series, Why Brain Training is Best, why brain-based fitness training is really the best and the way to get the best results. So today we're talking about the ABCs of movement. Like learning a language, movement can be broken down into component parts. There's this concept of deliberate practice and learning where we see really actually accelerated results when people learn this concept of neural chunking. So basically a chunk is like if you learn the different parts of the letter A, and you know that chunk, and then you can put it together in a word, and then you can put it together in a sentence. Similar concept in movement, learning great form, great technique with different movements, whether it's a wrist glide, a lateral wrist glide, a wrist circle, or a wrist figure eight. Those are all capable of being broken down into component parts. And then if we put like an elbow circle together with a wrist circle on the other side, once you have the component parts, you can start to chunk them together. And that obviously takes a little bit more coordination, a little bit more work from the brain. So instead of working the frontal lobe more on one side with the wrist figure eight, now I'm working the frontal lobe on both sides with the elbow circle and the wrist circle. All that to say, can make movement a lot more fun. You can become a lot more creative with it, but it takes kind of getting the basics down first. So there's this saying, all the body, all the time. The purpose of the mobility training, which we do a lot in like our warm-ups and cool-downs before and after sessions, is to train each joint in all available ranges of motion. And so that's the focus, and we think that's going to create the best long-term change in the entire body. Talked a little bit about this. Learn letters, words, then sentences. And the concept there is neural chunking. So our basic progression with mobility and joint mobility is starting out with linear patterns. And that's what you'll typically see in the fitness settings. You'll see like a forward lunge pattern, or you'll see a bicep curl. And that's very linear, right? But we can actually improve the results, especially brain-based results. If we're trying to activate like the cerebellum or a specific area of the brain, we're going to get much better results if we increase the complexity of the pattern a little bit. So then the next step is circular, and the last step is figure eights. And really even beyond figure eights, we can start to do perturbation with figure eights or bump somebody's shoulder a little bit while they're going through a figure eight, and that upregulates or increases that brain activity specific to the cerebellum. Guys, we'll see you in week 8. Hope this was helpful, and hope it gives you a little bit more of the why behind the approach that we have at the gym. Thanks.